Okay, guys, welcome everyone. So I'm having quite of an issue here, but I'm back now. I'm fine. I was trying to see if I can do something. Okay, okay, I'm on. I'm on. Greetings, guys, from wherever you're connected. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're connecting from. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to today's session, Accelerate 2024. We have going to deal with a lot today, and I know that everyone who is connected here is going to learn a lot, is going to be empowered, is going to be fired up, is going to be um, strengthened for the year ahead, which is the year 2024. The last time we had Accelerate was sometime in 2022, and that was, I think, at the second or the third, and it was a 2 days meeting. We had the 2 days meeting. So, but for today and for the year 2024, we're just going to have a 1 day meeting, and we're going to be dealing on making the year 2024 work for you. I can recall exactly sometime in 2022 when I stated something that was our year of speed wealth. When I was to do that teaching, I stated it publicly that in 2022 is the year of speed wealth, and we will just keep on getting richer and better. I talked about how even the crypto market is going to be very, very bearish and bad that year, but we are going to make exploits even in that year. And we've been having incredible growth and incredible progress for those who paid attention even in that year. I can recall 2022 exactly, which was the bear market and a very bad market for a lot of people globally, especially people who are crypto traders and investors, was when I made some of the biggest, hugest investments in my life. It was still in 2022 at the biggest dip of the market. I made some of the biggest investments of my life in that 2022, and it's crazy. I think in 2022 was where I got one of the major biggest facility that is running one of my agriculture based business, and we have a large level of real estate projects going on for a full set of an estate that is currently being built in Nigeria, and that was done in 2022. In 2022, of course, I have businesses across the country and also in various countries, and but building an estate is something that I have not basically done, but I started it in 2022. It was really a year of speed wealth. A lot of progress was made, a lot of money was made. When people were crying that they are losing money, we were making money. When people were crying that their portfolio was going down, those who paid attention to me were making money. And we have a lot of people who were in that live session we are today referred to like idolers in the crypto space, in the Web3 space. And people look up to them today, see them as mentors, as figures. They were all in that 2022 Accelerate session. So if you are here right now on Accelerate 24, you are opportune to be here, you are blessed to be here, you are favored to be here, and you are about to receive a lifetime opportunity. And all you need to do is to maximize the opportunity of a lifetime, even in a lifetime of this opportunity, as this session tries. Get out your pen, get out your notes, and take down the points you need to take down and see how you can start applying them to make results. And as we proceed, it's very important for you to take share Share the live, share it to your Instagram stories, share it to your WhatsApp stories, share it to your Telegram stories, Facebook stories, or your friends and family you want to be connected with us, to learn, to be blessed by whatever is going to be taught today. So let's go into what we have today. Let's get started. So I had to just do some slides, which is going to be like 4 pages. I think this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page. So just basically 4-page slide, and I'm going to deal with whatever topic I needed to conclude today. So I talk about speed wealth. We're talking about speed wealth. What do I mean when we're talking about speed wealth? How do you get to maximize speed wealth? Now, speed wealth is a concept that is not known to the general public. Speed wealth, in the old times, we are told that you need to take up to 10 years before you become rich and successful. You need to take up to 20 years before you reach and become successful. In fact, some of us have been in this industry for a very long time. We've made a lot of mistakes, but over time, as we begin to make mistakes, we become wiser. We begin to correct those mistakes, and we begin to make money. In fact, when I learned this thing I'm about to teach right now, within the space of 3 years of learning it, I moved from making little money of around least 4 figures and all that to hitting my first 7 figures and crossing $1 million, just because of what I'm about to teach you, within a short span of 3 years when I've got to master this. In other words, had it been I had mastered what I'm going to teach you now earlier on, it wouldn't take me a longer period of time to cross or hit my first $1 million and start scaling in that level. It wouldn't take me that much amount of time. I wouldn't have to wait that long or stay that long before. So that's what I'm about to give you. So I'm giving you what took me and approximately about almost 10 years to master and learn. I'm giving you for the next 1 hour, 10 years in 1 hour. So I'm compiling like 10 years of experience and giving it to you. So you shouldn't joke with this. And somebody, you need to hear this and learn this. You need to share it and send it to them now. So let's talk about how you can master what I call the 3 P's of speed wealth. These are the principles that make speed wealth what it is. So how do you master these 3 P's to speed wealth? 3 P's of speed wealth is what I call predict, which I always say, positioning and profiting. Predicting, positioning, and profiting. I repeat, predicting, positioning, and profiting. So we're going to be scaling down these 3 P's. We're going to break down how can you being able to utilize these 3 P's to achieve speed wealth, to accelerate your life and have results faster than the majority, faster than the high number of people, because the reward number is increasing every day. I think as of today, we have over 8 billion people in circulation. Less few years ago, we had about 7 billion people, but now we have 8 billion people. Between the 1996 and the 2000s, we are having a headspace of about 5,000 per headspace, and between then and now we are having about 10,000 persons per headspace in the world. It is crazy how the world is increasing. So we are in an era whereby gone are the old rules. And if you keep on operating by the old rules, you might get old and frustrated and you feel like nothing is working because the old rules do not apply to the current state of things. The world has moved on. What did Peter Drucker say? They say we are in an era or an age of what we call overwhelming complexity, tremendous competition, and unprecedented change or accelerated change. These 3 things determines the 20th century that we are in. So let's talk about this 3 P's, which is predict, position, and profit. So we're going to begin with prediction. So we're going to begin with prediction. That's what we are going to deal with. We're going to talk about the ultimate principle of creation and what I call the process of creation. The ultimate principle of creation and the process of creation. That's basically what we are going to talk about under prediction. So what is the ultimate principle of creation, which can also imply what we refer to as the law of creation? Now, the ultimate principle of creation states that the best way to predict the future is to create it. I repeat, The ultimate principle of creation, which is which it can also mean what we call the law of creation, is that the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The best way to predict your future is to create that future. And how do you know it is possible to create the future? If you read the Holy Book in Genesis 1:1, the Bible says something that in the beginning God created heaven and earth. That's what it says. Genesis 1 verse 1 says, in the beginning God created heaven and earth. And now it is a universal fact across thousands or the hundreds and bunch of religions that we have in the world that there is a supreme being which is referred to as God. And that supreme being created the world. And if for those who are Christians and believers, and even I think Muslims too, also believe that God created the world. And now, if you read in Genesis 1:1, it says that in the beginning God created. So this means that the first and most important thing that even we are meant to know about this supreme being, which is God, is that He is a creator and He created the world we are in. And if we are like Him, that means every single being on earth and everybody watching me right now, the over 2,000 or 1,000 of you guys that are connected on this session, you, every single one of you, are a creator. Are a creator. So the best way to predict the future is to create it. Is to create it. You want a future that is going to be very blissful with so much abundance, so much favor, so much opportunities. You have to create it. You don't need your pastor to tell you. You don't need your imam to tell you. You don't need your pope to tell you. You don't need any religious figure to predict it for you. You only just have to create it. Once you, the best way to predict it is to create it. That is the universal principle to prediction, which is what they also call the law of creation. Now, let us deal on what is this process? What is the process of creation? Because now we've known that the best way to create the future, which you desire for 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, is to create it. And you can create it because the ability of a creator dwells in you. The seed of creation dwells in you. You are a product of creation by a creator. So you are meant to create. So the future of desire is to create it. This world was desired by the supreme being, and He desired the supreme being, and the only way He can make of what He desired was by creating it. Now, what was the process that this supreme being used in creating the world? So, because if you can understand the process by which you came into existence, by which you were created, then you will be able to utilize that same process to create the same future you desire, to create the same future you want, to create the same life you want. What's the process of creation? I call it SWD. 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 Sights, words, and deeds. Sights, words, and deeds. Sights, words, and deeds. So I call it sights, words, and deeds. These are the three stages of the process of creation. So I'm going to take us through the stages. When we are talking about sight, what do I mean by sight? Remember, there's a statement I always make, that we look with the eyes, but we see with the mind. We look with our eyes, but we see with the mind. So sight is of the mind and not of the eyes. Sight is of the mind and not of the eyes. We look with our eyes, but we see with our mind. So when we're talking about seeing with our mind, we're talking about sight is you being able to conceive. I always say you cannot put a 2x2 idea in a 1x1 mind. Why? Because it's going to blow up out of proportion. In other words, you cannot put also a 4x4 idea in a 2x2 mind, because the 2x2 mind cannot conceive it. It will blow up out of proportion. It is too small to conceive it. So what you can conceive in your mind, you will be able to create, because the conception of thoughts in your mind is the beginning stage to the process of creation, of creating anything you desire. So now, sight, we're talking about the mind. And that's the beginning stage. So it begins here. In 2022, when we were doing Accelerate2024, I taught us the principles of goal setting, goal forecasting, and how to set goals practically. So I might not need to dwell into that, or we not go into that. But what I can do is I might touch a bit of it, because when we're talking about this, we're talking about goals, creating goals now in your health from the mind. from the mind. So let me just give now. When we talk about vision, for example, vision. What is vision? Vision is basically a mental picture of your future, a mental picture of your destination, a mental picture of the future you want to create, a mental picture of the kind of life you want to have. That is vision. Vision, a mental picture. So vision is the beginning stage of creation. So let's talk about vision. So when we talk about that, where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years, in the next 3 years, in the next 2 years? In fact, by the ending of 2024, that's vision. Then when we after vision, we now have goals. What are goals? Goals is basically a target with a deadline. Targets with deadline are goals. Goals are basically targets with deadline. A target with a deadline is a goal. A target with a deadline is a goal. So if I say I want to be so rich as Dangote, or richer than Dangote, of course, ShifuWealth will become richer than Dangote in years to come. It will happen. And when it happens, this video will be played. That there was a time I did this session and I said that I would become richer than Dangote. Now, that's a vision. That's the vision. But it is not a goal. Why is it not a goal? It's not a goal because there is no definite deadline to this. So a goal is only when there's a fixed target with a deadline. So if I say in 2024 I want to make $1 billion, that is a goal, which is a target. The target is $1 billion. The deadline is 2024. So under 1 year I want to hit this. And then we have plans. Plans are basically the step-by-step process which you want to use or take to achieve the goals. Achieve the goals. So now the process of sight, which begins of the mind, is you conceiving a vision of what you desire, conceiving a vision of what you want to become, conceiving a vision of where you're heading to, the kind of life you desire. And when you've conceived that vision, you pen it down. Then you now set goals based on that vision. You set goals based on that vision. And then you now set your plans. You plan your life based on the goals. So let me use the vision of becoming richer than Dangote in a couple of years' time. And then the goal now is $1 billion in 2024. Now, the plan should be, what do I need to do to get to $1 billion? How do I spread it across each month into workable targets, into shorter time frame targets? What do I need to put in place so I can hit that goal this year? This is basically how you set goals. So, people be like, what do you want for 2024? I want to be financially free. What do you want for 2024? I want to have so much money. What do you want for 2024? I want all those things. Is like when you are trying to build a house and then you dig the foundation of the house. And after digging the foundation, you now expect the house to just grow on its own. So when you give those vague answers, it means you are still an unserious person. You are yet not you don't understand how to create what you desire and what you need to become. You are still giving a baseless answer. I want to be rich. I want to make money. That's a vision. That is not a goal. But it's a good point to conceive. It's a good point. It's the starting stage. It's like the starting peak. You're thinking what you're able to see, what you're able to conceive. That's the starting point. Because what you cannot see, you cannot have. What you cannot see, you cannot have. This is why I always tell people that for any man's, when one way or the number one sign to know that the time of a person on earth, any man, woman, boy, girl, has come, is that his eyes will be opened. His eyes will be open to see. Now, everybody could be looking at the same thing, but he's seeing something different. This means that it is not of just the eyes per se, but it's of the mind. Clarity, Light is the first stage and proof of a person whose time has come. So if you want to say your own time has come, what are you seeing? That is where it begins. That's the powerhouse point. So we're talking about the process of creation now. Sight, then we talk about words. When we talk about words, what do we mean by words? Now, words is basically how you maintain the environment, how you nurture what you're seeing, how you spend your time. This affects your words. There's what we call the words of the rich. I think if you've ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you will see something when he talks about the words of the rich, the words of the poor. There's what we call the statement of the rich, what the rich says. There's what we call the statement of the poor, how the poor speaks and how the rich speaks. This has nothing to do with whether you have money or not. It begins from the vision, because that is what going to channel the statement you are saying, the words you are speaking. Some of you watched the video I posted sometime not too long ago. I think I also shared one of the live sessions where I was holding a meeting somewhere in Nigeria, and that was about 6 years ago. And in that meeting, I was making bold statements and words about where I'm going to be and what is going to happen, and how anybody who does not take advantage of the opportunity of crypto at that time will miss out, because this is what's going to happen in a few years' time, and how not going to be in the country any longer. I would have relocated out of the country, and I'll be living my best life, and I will have international companies, and every single thing I stated, I have actualized in that video. But guess what? I never had what I had now when I was saying it 6 years ago. I never had up to $100,000 when I was saying it 6 years ago. But I've scaled through all that now. So words. But why does how you spend the time matters? Now, if you spend your time in 2024 on the wrong things that you've spent your time in 2023, it will still affect the way you speak, and automatically that's an investment. Every time you spend is an investment. If you spend time watching ridiculous comedies, you're investing your time into jokes, and there's a greater likelihood that your life will end up a joke, like the comedy you're spending the whole of your time to watch. So maybe in the nearest future, you might just end up like those set of people who their life has become a joke, because you invested your time all about jokes. There is no two ways about it. Because the more you remember the statement we made, those of us who are in crypto, because we spend so much time in crypto, we begin to make use of crypto words. We begin to make use of crypto terms. Sometimes like someone is based. It's a crypto term. Yeah, a Chad, a top lad. All these are crypto terms. Why? Because we spend time there. We spend time there. So where you are spending your time, what you are spending your time with will affect your words. And you don't need, because this is about maintaining the environment, because this is like this is the water. You've sown the seeds now, which is the vision. You need to water it. You need to speak these things. You don't need everything to be, this is something that could help. People be like, okay, I don't have a friend that will inspire me. This, you have to create your friends. As of a time when I was in a family also who they weren't encouraging what I was doing, because there was really no result or fruit as per se in the time I'm spending online. So what do? My friends was the videos I was watching on the internet. So I invested my time in watching the right videos that inspire me, video that educate me, video that makes it to become better. I spend my time on the right courses I should learn. So the money I saved, I was paying for courses, paying for educational groups, paying for mentorship, and I was building myself. Building myself. Come in. Come in, guys. Building myself. That's basically what I was doing. I was building myself. That is it. Building myself. What are you spending your time? It affects the words. So when people uh, are speaking only negative words, you don't have to. It helps in actualizing those things. Words are very powerful. I don't know if you watched that video I posted. You could see how confident I was. In fact, I think now I am less bold than then. It's like when you've had so much money, or you're not making so much money, you don't really. Some things are not really. You're not. But then I was. So in other words, now I should be more bold than then. I have every result I need to be bold than then. I have every, should I say, physical, tangible evidence per se to be bold than then. But then I was more bold than now. What was it? The same thing. So it constructed my words. Now, talking about um sights, words, and deeds. Now, deeds has to do with actions. Deed has to do with actions. But the thing here is that our deeds, our actions, is basically the result of the first two. The result of the first two. The secret of being wealthy is you being willing to do the things today that others won't do, so you can have the kind of life tomorrow that others won't have. But the thing here is that for you to do those things that others won't do, it begins in the sights. It's just like when you watch videos, if you watch most people who are very successful, like genuinely in the genuinely way successful, and you see something synonymous with most of their videos about how they're always restrained from the public, spending less time with refrain from the public, and then they are spending less time with their friends. They're spending less time with playing around. They're always like, should I say, introverted in a way? Not necessarily everyone is introverted, but introverted in the sense of they are spending much time with what they are doing with their work indoors by them. You see synonymous patterns. They say success leaves clues. It leaves clues. You see it in every single one of them. If you've watched interviews, if you've watched the videos of most successful people, you see the same statement. Now, what constructed this? These people do not know themselves in the sense of, let's say, they have become rich and definitely they are now known. And as they are now known, they are everywhere. They've become rich, they're everywhere. But before they become it, they don't really know themselves per se. They were like different and all that. And now, why they were different, or why they were in various contexts with they acted the same way. Why? Why did they end up acting the same way? They are from different backgrounds, from different places. I always talk about Iman Gadzhi, which is an amazing dude. I think Iman Gadzhi is a young guy, but he's killing it. And you look at Elon Musk, you look at Bill Gates, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, these guys, and you see them saying similar thing. You listen Jack Ma, the richest man in Asia, you hear the same thing without, should I say, growing up together as per se. How come? It's because the principle is the same thing. You can't cheat the principle. Their deeds, the kind of life they are living, which seems to be the boring way, not the sweet way, not the enjoyable way, which is what people wouldn't want to sacrifice for. Because let's say how my life used to be a couple of years ago, whereby I get to spend hours maybe on the charts, hours reading, hours studying, hours on personal development. So it's either I'm sleeping, I'm learning something new, I'm implementing what I'm learning, I'm reading books, educative books, I'm watching educative video, or I'm on the charts trying to analyze or whatever I do. Either I'm applying or learning or sleeping. So the major part of myself was on personal development. Now, this is the thing that people wouldn't want to do, because the time they have, they want to use it to joke. The time they have, they want to use it to play. The time they have, they want to use it to have fun. That's basically what they want to do. And they want to see how, most of the times, they want to see how they can cheat their way through life. I am able to live like that, which ended up having the results I have today, because of the other two. So you will not be able to live different, do different, which will ultimately have a different result, without first the sight thinking different. The process of vision, which I taught, and now this process of vision now affects your words, your environment, how you spend time, which automatically now reveals in your deeds. So, when you hear the statement, how a man thinks is how he is, this is basically the process to it. This is basically the process to it. This is basically the process to it. Basically, the process to it. This is basically the process to it. So let's go to this. I'm coming. Coming. Let me remove. So this is the process to it. This is the process of creation. The process of creation. The process of creation. Now let's talk about positioning. Let's talk about positioning. The year 2024. How it regards to the world, regards to Africa, what I call the code of the God kind, and how you can literally apply that to yourself and for yourself. To yourself and for yourself. Now, I think if you follow me on Facebook, where before we enter the new year, and also on Twitter, I made a post. I made a post about 2024 is the year of the dragon. And I know so many persons, especially Nigerians, many Africans who probably are ignorant of what I mean, were confused why I said this is the year of the dragon. So the year of the dragon pertains to Chinese astrology for the years. But this session is not for me teaching you what astrology is and what are these, but I'm just giving a hint for people who want to later go and do Google and all that. So, and you see, I think on crypto, many people are not talking about the year of the dragon, year of the dragon, year of the dragon. Now, it's basically, this is it. The year of the dragon is basically a year whereby there are heightened opportunities for making money. There are heightened opportunities for making money. It's a very synonymous year also, because apart from that, the year starts with a Monday, and Monday is basically a working day. Basically a working day. So although it is a year that is filled with a heightened opportunity of making money, it will only be to those who will put in the work. It will only be to those who will put in the work. Now, one thing that is very unique about the year we are in is that, the last year with the same calendar as 2024 was in 1996. 1996. And the next year that is going to have the same calendar as this year is going to be in 2052. So for a year like this to ever get to repeat itself, it takes an average of 28 years. So if you take the next 28 years for we to have another year like this year that we are in. It is critical because this year is basically the benchmark of the 2030s. What you choose to do or not do in this year 2024, we determine the next couple of years that is to come. 7 of the biggest countries in the world are are also having their political elections in the year 2024. It's a critical year in the global economic world. It's a critical year in the times and seasons we are in. So what we choose to do in 2024 or not do will affect your life throughout the 2030s. And beyond. So it's a very unique year in the global scale of things. It's a unique year in the global scale of things, from first world countries down to third world countries. So basically, it is very, very important to know that, to note that. But now let's talk about predicting. When we're talking about predicting, we're talking about the future, right? The future. So you need to understand. You need to understand the times and seasons we are in, where we are coming from, and where we are headed to. Now, I don't want this session to be too long, so I will not go into too much details about what happened in 1996 and how it affected the year into the 2000s and what is expected to happen in 2024 that will lead to the next 2030s. Now, we need to understand. And I don't want some people to get lost. So that I just have to use the basic and the simplest things that could be relatable for you to just understand. That there's a heightened level of opportunities for people to make money in this year, but however, it will be those who are putting the work. And also, it's also important to note that 7 of the biggest countries in the world are all having their elections, even in this 2024. It's also very, very important and significant. But I don't want to go deep into what these elections is going to do and how it's going to affect every economy in the world. I'm not going to talk about that. But these things are also important. But one thing we always say, or people always say, and people do, is they said that the future is Africa. The future is Africa. The future is Nigeria. And now, the context by which Africa, as per se, is referred to as the future is because Africa is growing so much so that it's becoming the biggest continent in the world, the continent that has the largest, youngest population in the world. Very key. Which means the more population are increasing on the increase in Africa, Africa becomes a source of consumption or a household for consumption. The reason why we have the whites coming over to Africa, Japan's, Chinese, Americans, the British coming over to Africa, and even those who live countries, West African countries like Nigeria, for example, even those who leave Nigeria and go outside still come back to Africa, is because where there's numbers, there's problems. In other words, where there's numbers, there's need for consumption. So the products that are being produced outside is being consumed by Africans. Consumed by Africans. But the reason why Africa is the future is because Africa is the major consumption point of the world. Hope we get that clear. It's a major consumption point of the world. And now, for you to be among those who will be the richest, more successful, or people who are in control, who we refer to as God mode, godlike, and having full of speed wealth, is you have to ask yourself one thing. If Africa and Nigeria is the future, let's use Africa. I don't just specify it on Nigeria alone. but Nigeria is the largest country in Africa, right? But that's why I'm just using the word Africa. I don't just want to split, because I know a lot of people here also are from various African countries, of course. But now, if we're talking about the future being Africa and the future being Nigeria, the question you want to ask yourself is, what can you create to better the lives of people in one of these 5 sectors or in one of these 5 areas? Now, what can you create? What can you do to better the lives of people in one of these 5 areas? How to live, how to laugh, how to love, how to learn, and how to earn. The richest people in the world are people who have been able to create a product or service that affects the lives of people. Either the way they live, the way they laugh, which is fun, the way they love, the way they learn, and the way they earn. One of these 5 sectors. Some people major in, it has even grown big to 2 of these sectors. Anyone who is able to deliver a product in any of these sectors, serving Africa, check the charts. I think as of recently, it was stated that I've forgotten his name. A South African billionaire is now the richest African. That means he has taken over Dangote and he's now the richest. When I saw it, I had to do a little bit of research into why he is the richest. Now let's talk about the God, what I call the code of the God kind. The code of the God kind is simply one thing. The one who creates is the one who rules. The one who creates is the one who rules. I call it the code of the God kind. So you have to be in the year 2024. When we're talking about positioning, you have to be in one of 3 things, one of 3 areas. It's either you're the one who creates, that is, you're the creator, or you're serving a creator, or you are a bridge between the creator and the consumers. I will repeat. In order for you to be positioned to accelerate in 2024 and beyond in the next couple of years, you have to be in one of these 3 categories. Either you are 1, the creator, or 2, serving a creator, or 3, a bridge between the creator and the consumers. So the person who created TikTok is a creator. TikTok affects the way people laugh. People have fun, are excited by what they are watching and seeing. Now, an example, I just use that as an example. Let's look at someone who is serving a creator. I'm trying to remember the name of the lady who is all, I think is all over the net and the internet or so, who served Jack Ma, and she was just basically a receptionist, and was with Jack Ma for about 8 years, or is it about 10 years? Within the space of 8 years to 10 years, all through when Alibaba was still in the struggling stages or the beginning stages. If you know the name of the lady, please type it out in the comment section so I could just pin it up. She was serving Jack Ma in Alibaba. So she was serving a creator, the purpose of the creator. So she was serving the creator. And by the time it got to the peak of where it is, it got to the point where Alibaba is, she became a billionaire. Someone who was just a receptionist. So by serving someone who is a creator, she did what? Became a billionaire. It's just like when we talk about Ethereum in crypto. Ethereum was founded by Vitalik Buterin, but there were 3 other founders alongside Vitalik Buterin. So we have a total of 4 persons who created Ethereum. But the major mastermind was Vitalik. And these other 3 guys were serving the creator. And guess what? The 4 of them are all billionaires today. I'm just using this as an example to reiterate my points. So it sinks deep. Number 3, you are a bridge between the consumer and the creator. So there are people who they are not creating any product, they are not creating any service. What they are doing is that they are bridging between the consumers, between Africans, between Nigerians. They are like the middleman that supplies from these guys who creates to them. Now let's look at what I call the principle of the 21st century principles of production. We were taught that it is basically land, labor, capital. That is the laws or principles of stages of production, as we've been taught. But I teach that in the 21st century we are in, the principles of production is basically what I call the 3 I's: ideas, information, and innovation. And the richest people who became the richest in the world from the 1996 era into the 20s era and are ruling in the world were because they understood these 3 I's very early. Let me give an example. Somebody got an idea to create a computer, and then he gathered information around that idea and made it a reality. And we have the big mainframe computer, which is very big and massive. And then someone went ahead to innovate that idea. So this person gets an idea on the pre-existing idea of another person. That is what we call innovation. That is building on a pre-existing idea. The person got a better idea and takes it, which is what we call innovation now, and gathers the information around it to actualize it. So he thought, how can he democratize and decentralize this big gigantic piece of thing and make it to become a PC, a desktop computer? And then it became possible. Somebody went ahead to democratize and decentralize that desktop computer into a PC. Somebody also went ahead to innovate again the PC. He gathered information. What was his idea? To make it to become iPads, smartphones. Now we have smartwatches. And the world has even evolved from smartwatches to chips that you can put under your skin, and the skin does every processing capabilities that a normal PC had. Now, this is the thing here. The family who owns the patent rights to the desktop computer and created it, to the one who owns the patent rights to the smartwatches today and created it, both them and their generation unborn has nothing to do with poverty again. Forever. Now, those who did not actually were the creators. They were not the creators, but they bought into that thing and thought of how can there be a bridge to bring that idea and actualize it in the other parts of the world. Both them and their family has nothing to do with poverty again. Generations unborn. Let's talk about, let's say, in those who were in Nigeria, for example. Remember when the ATM came? Who brought the ATM, the concept of interswitch, and code to Nigeria? And how many people were not buying into ATM? Nobody wanted to use an ATM. Many persons were scared of an ATM. Who brought it to Nigeria? How much do you think for every transaction and every ATM card swipe in the whole of Nigeria that has over 200 million people? And let's say even if it is just 10%, 20 million people using ATM cards, for every transaction being swiped, how many percent goes to that same person who was the bridge between the creation and the consumers, Nigeria? Then let's talk about what we use. Is it GSMs or the stops I've forgotten what it's called again. I don't know why it's skipping my mind now. That is being used in the country. Okay, somebody brought up the name of the lady. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's the name of the lady. Tong Wen Hong for Alibaba also. Tong Wen Hong. Tong Wen Hong. That's the name of the lady. So why do I say this? So now this is the thing. The quality you bring in any of these categories of the C's you are in determines your what. It determines your value to the market. The quality you bring, the quality of service or product you bring, either as a creator or someone serving a creator, that is somebody who is working with a creator, or as a bridge between the consumers in Africa, in Nigeria, to the creators abroad coming in. The quality you bring, the quality you provide determines your worth or value in the market. So at that point, when you are in any of these categories, what you want to focus on is scalability of that quality. The service you're already providing, the product you're already providing, how can you scale it? This is where you now have to think. Because at this point, we are in an era and an age whereby your work will not save you. Where you're working will not save you. So you can actually have a job, yet you're not in any of these three things. And you don't need to resign from your job to be in any of these three categories. The beauty of it is that while you are at your job, you can apply what I'm pitching right now. And before you know, you will start making so much money than what is being paid in your salary. At that time, you can now consider resigning. At that time, you cannot consider dropping your job because you're making so much money. Because we are entering an age whereby your work cannot save you. You would have to think. You will have to think. There's a platform on social media called Opportunity Dex. I think it's on Facebook. Opportunity Dex is a very good platform. So people who are in who are in Nigeria, who are in Africa, other African countries, it's good when you follow up, even if you're in the first world country. So it's good to follow up Opportunity Dex. So Opportunity Dex is on Facebook. Opportunity Dex is the name. Go to that page, follow that page. Opportunity Dex, that's the name of the page. Opportunity, you already know how the spelling opportunity is. Then DESK. They usually post a lot of opportunities for creators. A lot of opportunities for creators. So you can literally have an opportunity to learn or an opportunity to display what you do and all that as well. So we're talking about we've talked about predicting the future. And I said that the best way to predict your future is to create it. And then I discussed the process of creation, how to create that future that you're predicting it. And I said the sight, I said words and deeds, and how our deeds are controlled by the first two, which is the sight and words. And I explain and broke down the process of sight, which has to do with visions, goals, plans, and how you need to organize your 2024 in this way so you can literally monitor your progress. You know, those people will be like, oh, more, I never achieved anything this year. I never. Most people who are in this category don't do these things I am saying. They don't do these things I'm saying. Most people who are in these categories, they don't do these things I am saying. They don't. They don't. They don't. You see, one thing I believe in life is that nothing in this world is impossible. The fact that I am talking to you today and the level of progress I have made in my life, for anyone who knows where I'm coming from, it's like an impossibility being possible. It's a proof that there's nothing impossible in this world. There's nothing impossible in this world. Anybody who thinks that impossibility exists has not lived long enough to experience the world outside his horizon. I repeat, anybody in the world who believes that something, anything at all, is impossible has not lived long enough to experience the world beyond his horizons, to experience the world beyond his horizon. You know, there's a phrase they used to say in Africa. They say, person whenever come out from in papa farm, go think say the papa farm not the biggest. I always have it. What people are saying, you know, when people are, it's just like whenever I see some people arguing about someone said he's making, let's say, $100,000 in a week, or makes $200,000 in a week, and you're trying to analyze if the person is lying or not. For God's sake, people are making this crazy amount of money in a day in this crypto. For example, in crypto, I know people who are making that much in a day. And one thing you should know is that the existence of something being false or fake is proof that there is an original. If somebody's lying about a thing, it means that there's somebody somewhere out there who is saying the truth about that thing. That money being made is real. And if someone is making, me, I don't have a problem with anybody who wants to lie. My own is, if someone is making it, then I can make it. I will make it. I am going to make it too. And that has been my philosophy and has helped me over the years. Your focus shouldn't be arguing what is and what isn't. Your focus should be understanding the principle I'm saying. I've talked about prediction. Now I'm talking about positioning. So when I'm talking about positioning, I talk about understanding. I just give a hint of how significant this year is, how important this year is, and how if you're not willing to put in the work, you will not be able to reap the reward out of this year, even into the next coming years. And not just any kind of work, not the work of a hustler, is smart work and the work of someone who thinks in the future. So someone who says, if Africa is the future, if Nigeria is the future, what product or service is going to shape the future, affect the future of the way Africans live, the way Africans laugh, the way Africans love, the way Africans learn, and the way they earn. Can I create something in any of these sectors? Or who has created something already in any of these sectors that is going to shape the future of Africans in one of these categories, and I will need to work with this person or partner with this person? Or how can I be a bridge between the person who is those who've created this and to the Africans? You get what I'm saying? So let me pin some of this comments. Some of these comments. Now, once you've discovered that the quality that is being brought, you bring, determines your worth, your value. Now, the question is, how can you scale that value? You know, when my mentees tell me, Shifu, I've made my first million, I'm happy for them. I'm happy they've made their first million, but I tell them I believe they can do more. Making your first million is not the goal. You can do more. What is your target? Set target for the next, what's it called? For the next, I want you to hit your next $10,000, and I want you to hit it in a short while. Just X10, you hit your first $10,000, and cross that amount. I want you to hit your next $100,000. Then you're now talking. Leave the noise, leave the argument for people who want to argue. Those are for the masses. If you're a kingmaker, spend time. Just it's just like when somebody somewhere on the comment is trying to justify why you should be spending time to be watching comedy videos. Watching comedy videos is not a problem, but the proof your life is the way you live is what you've spent your time, you've invested your time in. That is why your life is the way it is right now. How you spend your time. Bring two children who are in the same classroom. One spends his time with too much fun. The other one spends his time putting in the right work, with the right thing, with the right discipline. He's going to emerge successful in the class. He's going to emerge best in the class. And that's the same thing in life. That's the same thing in life. That's the same thing in life. You have to pay the price. You have to pay the price. You have to pay the price. There's so much time to enjoy. There's so much time to have fun. In fact, I think once in a month or sometimes in a month, I decide to have a fun once in a while because I can. But what is more fun to me is making money. The more money I make is fun to me. That's enough fun. Making money is enough fun for me. Making enough money is enough fun for me. So how do you scale that quality? You have to think about this. You have to think about this. I've said so much. Somebody should please do a screenshot. Shola, please do a screenshot. A screenshot of this session we are having. Because I might forget to do a screenshot, and people have advised me to always do screenshots. Always do screenshot. Sometimes I could forget to do that. So, like I said, the code of the God kind is the fact that the one who creates is the one who rules. The one who creates, the one who rules. Can you guys remember the day that WhatsApp went something? WhatsApp had an issue. I think Facebook too. WhatsApp and Facebook had an issue. It seemed like it wasn't working. We weren't live for about, is it 30 minutes or an hour? I don't know. How many of you remember what happened that day in the whole world? It started trending on Twitter when WhatsApp went down, and how what's it called? WhatsApp and Facebook went down. Imagine what happened in the whole world. Imagine what happened in the whole world globally for just a few hours. That is dominance. That is domain. That is what that is means ruling. That is rulership. So let's talk a bit about profits. Let's talk a bit about profit. Let's talk a bit about profits. We've talked about prediction, we've talked about positioning, we've talked about profit. Let's talk a bit about profit. Let's talk about the opportunity. Somebody said shut down. Someone says it's like it's like Jesus. Jesus came that day. Exactly. Now imagine TikTok goes down. Imagine how sad many people are going to be when TikTok goes down. Imagine how sad many people when TikTok goes down. Just imagine. Just imagine. Just imagine. In the house of wealth, for example, we've created products and services that affects how people earn, how people make money. For example, we have the Bybit trading network. Let me use that as an example, practical example of what we created in the house. We have the Bybit trading network, which was launched, and it's where basically people could copy my trades, spots and futures for free. And these are trades with very high probability success rate and win rate of about 80 to 90%. And there are also other admins who are in the platforms who also trade. They might not have the level of accuracy I have, but they are also good, and they are making their trades available elsewhere for people to copy and trade for free. Now, that is a service that affects how people earn and how people make money. How people earn and how people make money. and people can literally copy the trades. And now, when the year was ending, I was announcing that we're going to close access. Now I've closed access for people to just join in. Everybody wants to join in. If someone sent me a message today and I said, you have to reach out to, I had to, I forgot some, about 3-4 persons sent me a message. I said, you have to reach out to somebody who is already a member of the network. And the 31st, I announced PBS, people-based subscription service. People-based subscription service. What does PBS mean? It means that it is the first service in the world, as far as Web3 and crypto is concerned, where a trader creates a platform where he shares his expertise and trades and says, you be the one to charge people for it, make people for it, make money from it. I am not charging anybody for it. No one out there has ever done this before. So the only thing is, we say do not overcharge people. So for anybody to join in the Bybit Trading Network now, the person needs to reach out to you who is already a member, and you charge the person anywhere from $25 to $50 if you want to, or if you don't want to, it's your choice. But anywhere from $25 to $50, and then give the person the link to join in, and the person will be approved by me. The person doesn't need to pay me any dime. I do not want any money. You are the one. You have the opportunity. You're already a member of the network. Make money with it. This is like owning your own. So it is designed to help everybody have a power of ownership and authority to make money for free by yourself. So the same way you've been inviting people to join in, this time around, let's say you get in 10 people to join in, and each of them, you tell them that for them to join in, they are going to pay $25, and they're having lifetime access to someone like me who's been trading for over 8 years, and they can copy those trades on spot and futures for free for just $25. There's no reasonable person who doesn't want to give you that amount of money or pay you that amount of money. And if you have 10%, you've already made $250, as easy as that. As easy as that. Then we have the airdrop, for example, the airdrop platform, where people are making a whole lot of money. People are making a queue from the airdrop platform. People are making so much money from the airdrop platform. People are making incredible amount of money from the airdrop platform. So much money from the airdrop platform. People are making so much money from the airdrop platform. Now, the airdrop platform is also free, where people can, in fact, every major airdrop that's giving people big money in Web3, in crypto, for the past 1 year is being posted there by the admins. If Shola doesn't post it, Deborah is going to post it. If Deborah doesn't post it, me myself, I will surely post it. There's too much overload of information there. Too much overload of information there. And you can make money with it. It's a free platform, and now we are doing what is called what's it called? We're doing a giveaway, right? And say a 50K that people should refer and share the top 5 winners or so. It's a free platform. Oh. You're making money from the airdrops for free. Oh. You're not paying us any dime. Oh. Admins used to do giveaway inside the platform. I remember, I can't count how many times Shola and Co has done giveaway in the airdrop platforms. And now we're doing this contest. You're participating for free in a free platform you're making money from, and you're participating in a free giveaway to make money from. Come on now. Come on. With Jesus Christ, and you're making a lot of money. That's why I say anybody who is in the house of wealth and you're not making money, man, I don't know what to answer you or what to say to you. If you're in the house of wealth and you're not making money, I do not know what to say to you. I do not know what to say to you or what to answer you. I honestly don't know. I wish I do, but I don't know. So let's talk a little bit right with the opportunity of cryptos and the future. There's so many things when we're talking about the future. So many things when talking about the future. So many things talking about the future. But let's talk about the opportunity of crypto. We are talking about 2024 being an amazing year, and so much money is going to be made in 2024. We're talking about bull run. We're talking about bull run, for example. And we're saying in this bull run, so many people are going to make crazy amount of money. You're seeing some people have made 6x already of their portfolio, some 7x. You're seeing crazy, and it seems like everything is happening so fast. If you're serious with your life, you will do all you can to maximize this time we are in. The institutions are coming. ETFs is being approved. Don't you know what ETFs means? Once ETFs are approved, it means institutions are here. It is a good news and a bad news in disguise. So the approval of ETFs is good news because it will make the market more bullish, and it's bad news saying that the opportunity for you to make that life-changing money is elapsing with now. This is the chance you have. Somebody comes up, let's say we created the bull run group and say you can pay an amount of money to join the bull run group, and you're thinking, you're calculating if this person is creating this bull run to finance his pocket or not. Is what you're thinking now. Of all times in your life, this is not the time to calculate whether this person is creating this group to make money or not. This is not that time at all. If you want to think, you should have thought it before. If you want to think it in the future and not now. And I tell people that if you want to join a platform, let's say like the bull run crypto group you're talking about now, you're waiting for the bull run to become intensified before you join. No, you want to buy the top. Most of the bull run tokens and coins we've shared in the bull run has already even started skyrocketing and going up. Why? Because this is the season we are in. Making money is going to be easy. Your Uber driver will soon start asking you about crypto. I said something the other day. I said I see people who left crypto for Forex are coming back right now. People from all over the world I know are reaching out to me and asking they want to get involved in crypto again. Why? Because it is the season, it is the time. Soon your pastors will start, if they've not already started talking about crypto. Your musicians will start talking about crypto. Your politicians will start talking about crypto. Everybody's going to be on crypto. And you who have been in this crypto, what do you have to show for it? This is the year for you to generate that evidence. And you need to do what you can to generate that evidence. If it's to join the bull run group that's going to help you do that, join. Get that money and join. If it's the sacrifice you need to pay, do it. Plug in. You need to learn how to maximize the opportunity of a lifetime of that opportunity. Someone joined in yesterday. He used the PBSS. Within how many days? He has already, within first and now, he has raised over $250 already. And he paid to join in the bull run crypto group. Sharp, very fast. He's still pushing PBSS. Why? He's raising money and capital to abuse and start positioning himself for the bull run. That's how it should be. There is so much information even out there right now, but these informations out there are scattered. But if you've ever heard in crypto that somebody can use $50 or $100 and make $100,000 and make $50,000, if you've ever heard it before and it seems like it is far-fetched, 2024, 2025, you will see much of that testimonies. It will be crazy. It will be crazy. And you will either be the one who will be seated and be looking at people sharing the testimony, or you'll be among those who will be sharing the testimony. You either be in one of these categories, and it all depends on the actions you take. The other day I was sharing an information with people who are in the bull run group for an asset class for next year, and how I'm projecting is going to make at least 100,000% for this year. 2024. What is 100,000%? 100,000% means 1,000x. 1,000x. Why is it feasible? We're in the opportunities. I've been in the first bull run of 2017. I made the first money. Lost the money. I lost all my money. By 2021 was my second bull run, and I recovered so well, crossed my first $1 million, and I'm living the life of my dreams. I'm happy and well comfortable. And now this is the third bull run for me. There's so much experience, and that was why the Bull Run Group was created, for people to maximize and make the best. This year I'm launching my first VC firm. My first VC firm, which is going to be as an angel investor, which is basically specifically going to be investing in startups, tech startups, and also crypto startups, especially in seed sales and private sales as a fund. And the reason why I closed down access to my private groups, because I didn't want distractions. And only those in the VIP have the privilege of accessing whatever benefits that are going to be available in that VC fund and the VC platform. The viewers in the VIP can access it. But I don't have any intention, because for you to actually be a part of a VC firm, you need to have a minimum of $50,000 to $100,000, depending on the level. So on the level we're starting, that person needs to have a minimum of $50,000 to $100,000. How many persons have that amount of money to be a part of such kind of thing? And that's why the only opportunity someone can have now is to plug into the BROBC. Most people who are like me are already planning to retire from crypto. In fact, the same thing one of my friends did. The same thing I did last year is what he did. He closed down. He's no longer doing anything like private group and all that. So he stopped it last year. Doesn't even need to, because he's planning to retire from crypto. And that's why I stopped mine last year. And the only platform that was created to just guide people into the Bull Run is the Bull Run crypto group. And you're delaying. Oh God, I hope God helps you. I hope God opens your eyes to see. Because one thing I always keep saying, you cannot help a man who is still blind. The first evidence that a man's time has come is that his eyes are open to see. His eyes are open to see. There will be so many opportunities, there will be so many opportunities, and maybe we are going to have another session that I'm going to teach on what we call the 9th disruption of the world. We have blockchain technology is what we call the 7th disruption of the world. The 7th disruption of the world. Blockchain technology, which gave birth to cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are the 7th disruption of the world. And after cryptocurrency and blockchain, we have the 8th and the 9th. And probably we're going to deal on these disruptions and how it's going to affect the world in another session like this. I'm going to teach on the opportunities of the future and how you can start capitalizing on them now that will benefit you and your children unborn. But before we go into that, now we have crypto. Before I go into all those you have crypto here with you. How are you utilizing it? What platforms have you plugged into to start maximizing the information and the access you can get? I want to say, how can you join the PBS? Automatically, if you're a member of the Bybit Trading Network, you already have access to it. You have the same access to the benefits. You have the same. Once you're a member of the Bull Run, what's it called? Once you're a member of the Bull Run platform, of the Bybit Trading Network, the trading network, you already have access to it. Once you're a member of the Bybit Trading Network, once you're a member of the trading network, automatically you are qualified to the privilege. They are qualified to the benefit and all that. Once you're a member of the trading network and all that. So if you're not a member of the trading network, reach out to anybody who's in the Bybit Trading Network. Let them help you get in, and then you're entitled to it. You're entitled to it. I've said so much, guys, and I've given us so much value already. I've given us so much information. What is left for you is to utilize what I've taught today. Go back to your drawing board, organize and plan your life based on what I've taught today. Pray to your God, whichever your God is. If your God is Almighty God, if it's Jesus Christ, if it's any other God, pray to your God and ask that God grants you deeper wisdom, grants you deeper insights on how you can apply everything that has been taught. Organize your life around this, from what was taught in predicting, in positioning based on the future of Africa and Nigeria, and how you can align businesses that are going to prosper to this, and then talk about the third category. What is the third category? Crypto we are in, and how you should make so much money. On list, there is a bull run list spreadsheet. When you join the bull run group, you're given access to the spreadsheet. We have one spreadsheet already available, and the other two and three is going to be out soon, all available to do. So plug into the bull run group. Make sure you join the bull run group. If you need a discount to join the bull run group, reach out to me after the session and just join, and so you can start being positioned on time to make money from crypto in the season we are in. That's the best advice anybody can give to you right now. You don't need to be trading crypto 247. You don't need to buy all the coins out there. You just need to be positioned in the right asset classes and watch your finances skyrocket in just a short while of time with the edge of asymmetrical bets and asymmetrical investing. If you've been losing money in crypto, stop losing. Pay money and join the Bull Run platform, the group. Once you join the Bull Run group, buy the coins in the Bull Run portfolio. Even if I call a coin for short term, just abandon and leave it. Just buy the Bull Run portfolio coins and just wait. Live your life and allow time yield the fruit of it, because we are in that season. We are in that era. Maximize that era we are in. Maximize this area. Do not be left out. Do not sleep on. Do not watch yourself that in a few years' time your children are going to ask you, what did you do? Mommy, daddy, what did you do when crypto was in vogue? What did you do when crypto was in vogue? Do not ask yourself that question. Do not ask yourself that question. Do not be in that category whereby they're going to be asking you such a question, and what are you going to be answering? So I'm trying to type. Sorry, the light I'm using affecting my eyes. Okay, Olu has helped. You go to the website. This is the website for those who want to plug into the Bull Run group. This is the website. Go to the website here if you want to plug into the Bull Run group, or you can reach out to me. For those who want to join the Bull Run group, you can go to the website here, which you can see here, or you can reach out to me and all that. I've said so much already in this session, and if it's just 2 persons, 5 persons, 7 persons who listen to these things I say, take these things I say, begin to implement them in whatever sector you are in: agriculture, farming, business, crypto, blockchain, Web3, tech, schooling, education, farming, agriculture, even if you're a small kid business owner. You take these things, watch how your life is going to be in the next couple of months, and do me something good. Do me something good to share your testimony, share your progress, share your testimony, share your progress. And I know that already listening to me alone, your life is not ready. It's changed already. All you just have to do is to go and apply. Go and apply. So, guys, we've said so much. Like I always say, if the students be ready, the Shifu will always appear. And when the Shifu appears, what happens? The students will always prevail. We are helped of God. We are impacted with knowledge. We are driven by vision, and we are accelerated by grace. The next time we're going to be having this next episode is going to be Accelerate 2026. I want by the time we are doing Accelerate 2026, in Accelerate 2026, we're going to start. In fact, from the end of this year, by 2025, ending of this year to 2025, I'm going to be hosting a physical meeting, a physical House of Wealth conference. So many people have been waiting for this. We'll host a physical House of Wealth conference, particularly in the country of Nigeria. I'll be coming to Nigeria and we'll host. It's going to be mega. It's going to be massive. And I want to host it, seeing the poorest person here should be worth at least $100,000. I repeat, the poorest person should be worth at least $100,000. So if you say you have $100,000 in net worth, we will see you as somebody who is poor. That is how it should be. That is how it should be. That is how it should be. And that is my wish for everybody here, to be super rich, super successful. And I've poured out a bit of my wisdom and knowledge for you. What you have to do is to go and duplicate it, go forth and shine forth. I wish you the very best, guys. Bye for now. And one thing that's going to happen is I might leave this video for a few hours, and after a few hours, I'm going to delete it. So those who want to rewatch it might be able to rewatch it online, and after a couple of hours, probably before tomorrow morning, it might be off the internet, or maybe by tomorrow, it might be off the internet. So that's on, guys. Someone said, "Boss, get a Blu-ray cut classes." Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Thank you for the advice. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Thank you for the advice. Gonna help me for the lights. That's why I'm